Adrian Cole had always believed that money could solve every problem, except the ones that mattered most. Tonight, however, money wasn't enough. Hours away from losing the empire his father had built, Adrian stared at the looming threat. The company board had already begun seizing control. The clause in his father's will seemed absurd when he first heard it. He must marry before his 35th birthday to retain the empire. He had laughed then. But tonight, as the clock ticked toward midnight, the clause was very real. And no woman he trusted, or even liked, would agree to marry him in a heartbeat. Desperation led him to the city hall, where the fluorescent lights flickered over rows of empty chairs. That's where he saw her, a woman quietly filling out forms, her hands steady but her eyes scanning the room as if expecting trouble. "Looking for a last-minute marriage?" he asked, his tone sharp, betraying the panic he tried to hide. She looked at him for a long moment, calm, tense, calculating. Maybe," she said cautiously. Before Adrian could press, two men in dark coats appeared at the doorway, scanning the office. The woman's face changed. Fear, recognition, urgency. "That's all I need," Adrian thought. He offered her a deal, protection in exchange for a marriage contract. She hesitated, but seeing the danger outside, she nodded. They married at 11:58 p.m. 2 minutes later, the office was empty. Adrian had a wife, but she had already vanished. The next morning, Adrian awoke to an empty bed. The board, surprisingly, confirmed that the inheritance clause had been satisfied. For now, the empire was safe. But so was the uncertainty gnawing at him. Security footage revealed her again, fleeing from men who wanted her dead. Adrian tracked her down to a small apartment, confronting her. "You're running from someone," he said. "I exposed a criminal syndicate," she replied, voice low, eyes sharp. "They want me dead. Marrying you made me harder to find." Her name was Zara Vale, and she wasn't just a stranger. She was danger wrapped in a beautiful, fragile lie. Victor Hale, a board member who had long coveted Adrian's empire, saw his chance. Publicly, he framed Zara as a scammer. Investors panicked. The company teetered on the edge. Adrian's life became a battle of loyalty versus legacy. Protect Zara or save the empire. He found her cooking in his kitchen one evening, a scene so domestic and ordinary it made his heart ache. She fixed his coffee just the way he liked it, reorganized his office, and even laughed at his terrible jokes. Slowly, he felt something he had never allowed himself: warmth, trust, maybe even love. But the danger never stopped. Every night, she checked the locks, jumped at shadows, and refused to share her full truth. Finally, when Victor kidnapped Zara to force Adrian's resignation, Adrian had no choice. He stormed the warehouse, confrontations echoing like gunshots in the empty halls. Strategy, force, and desperation collided. Victor was arrested, the syndicate thwarted, and Zara was safe, if only barely. When she tried to leave him afterward, claiming he deserved someone safe, he stopped her at the door. "I married a stranger to save my empire," he said, voice steady and full of emotion. "But I'm choosing you to save my future." Their kiss was not just passion. It was relief, fear, and hope all rolled into one. The empire was safe. The board was silent. But love, unexpected, dangerous, and true, had finally found its way in. As they stood together, Adrian knew the lingering question would always remain. Was their love fate or just survival?